So basically, the way to reimburse religiously, when we say religiously here means, let's say you just didn't agree. Someone said to you, okay, I owe you and I don't want to do anything but what the religion say. And we'll get it over with. So what's the bare religious judgment here? Because you can always, for example, do a settlement with some person or agree to something else. So what's the fundamental religious rule here for reimbursement? It depends on uh, what kind of money it was or how the money was. Because some money is replaceable and some money is irreplaceable. What qualifies for one or the other? So the way you can know if something is replaceable is that you can exactly measure it by weight or volume. And it's valid in a prepayment sale. It's valid for a prepayment sale. We didn't talk about this part. We're going to focus here on the weight and volume. I might say valid for a prepayment sale, but I'm going to try not to talk about it. I think it's going to take me far. And we can come back to it, inshallah. So replaceable means you can precisely measure it by weight or volume, and it's valid in a prepayment sale. Simply like what? Like gold, silver, rice, raisins, like that. Like anything you can get in bulk. Okay, that's simple. So when something is replaceable, then the religious judgment, when you have to reimburse someone, is to replace it. Subhanallah. So that means if you, for example, extorted from me a barrel of wheat, then it's your obligation to replace for me a barrel of wheat, not to give me money for it. Because this is a type of money that is replaceable. What's different from that? What's different from that is what's not precisely measurable by weight or volume, and it's not valid in the prepayment sale. How would it be then? Basically, when it's not like this, then how it's going to usually be is going to be made of parts. Made of parts or ingredients. Several ingredients. Or it'll be cooked. So if something is made of parts or has various ingredients, then it's irreplaceable. Like what? Like a cupcake. That's irreplaceable. So then how do you pay a person back for a cupcake? You give them the value. Meaning you don't give them another cupcake back, you give them the value. Now, I already said you can do a settlement. So that's why before I even started now, I said, supposing the person was saying to you, I'm just going to do what the religion said. I'm not going to do anything special with you. Then you have to know what the religious rule is. So this is how it is here. So also what's like that? Like a car. Isn't it made of multiple ingredients? Usually say ingredients for food though. Yes. Has plastic, has glass, has metal, has rubber, has Probably other things too. So then it's not replaceable. So if you damage someone's car, you don't get him another car, you give him the value. Ah, look right there. Look how a car is similar to a cupcake. Subhanallah. That's nice religion right there. Hmm. Or it's cooked. Why cooked have anything to do with it? Because by cooking it, you will alter its measure. And cooked is not restricted to food. Can you think of something cooked that's not food? Tell me something that's cooked and it's not food. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A clay product, yeah, like a brick. Well, clay product works, yes. You mold it and then you bake it, right? Yeah. So that's how the fiqh make your mind see things abstractly. You want to understand these rules, you need to understand them in abstract, the abstract meanings. You say cook, might have came to your mind. Cook means food. So understand the word there. It's cooked. Doesn't say food. But maybe someone won't understand because he doesn't think of something that's cooked without food. That's not food. So then what's that he lacks? Fiqh, comprehension. Okay. So that's it. So that's how you pay someone back. If it's replaceable, then you replace it. How are you going to know if it's replaceable? Then you see. Can you precisely measure it by weight or volume? And also, it's valid in a prepayment sale. If so, then it's replaceable. If not, then it's not replaceable. So then, what do you do if it's irreplaceable? Tell me, please. If you have to pay someone back and the money is irreplaceable, then how do you pay them back? What's the rule? 5. Yes, you pay the value. So this does imply, though, that when you pay back something replaceable, it might cost you more or even less than what you wasted. Because you have to replace the barrel of rice, for example. Not the value of the barrel of rice, the barrel of rice. So maybe the value goes up. Then you're going to wind up paying more just to get the barrel of rice to replace. Or maybe it goes down. Or maybe you had to some other expense just to get it. Like you had to pay some car fare to go and get it too. Well, I suppose I should just tell you what is the prepayment sale. Quickly, inshallah ta'ala. So it's called in Arabic salam or salaf. This is basically how you could deal in imports. When I did some research about this Selam sale or Selef sale, because I was trying to figure out how to translate it, and if yani, what I found online from non-Muslim sources that this is a Muslim sale. So that's what they said. But they do have something like this. But here's how it goes. Selam sale or Selef sale is how you sell, originally how you would sell described items. In fact, it's good that we're here actually. Haven't we said that you can buy described items? And that's exactly what we do when we buy online, right? You see something and then you order something like it. So you're buying a described item. Okay. So there is something like that that the Muslims were already doing. It's called salam sale or salaf sale, buying a described item. How do you do it? For example, well, first of all, you need to know what kind of things can apply to this sale. Something that can be precisely measured by weight and volume applies to this kind of sale. So that's like gold, silver, and other types of metals, and wood, and liquid like water and other things. Those can be precisely measured by weight or volume. Uh, and and also what can apply to a salam sale is animals. And some other things. So how does it work? You go to the person and say to him, "Okay, I want to order. I want to put in an order. I want some." Always use this so-called example. This example of so-called. I want some Sri Lankan spice. You have some of that nice red Sri Lankan spice? Yes, I want 3 kilos of that. So he says, "Okay, the Sri Lankan spice. All right, I can get some of that in about a month." So then what do? You say, "Okay, and you pay right now." That's why it's prepayment. You have to pay now because he's not delivering something to you now. You have to pay now because he's not giving you something now, right? That would be what? If you don't do that, that's going to be what? A debt for a debt. So you're going to pay him now, and then he's going to deliver to you at the time that y'all agreed and in the place where you agreed. Originally, that place is going to be wherever you did the contract. So let's say it's his store. So then that's where you're going to get the delivery, or he will agree to deliver to you or whatever. Or you're going to meet him somewhere. So that's a selim sale. You can do it with animals. You can say, for example, I want a cow. Has to be such and such age. You have to describe it as much as possible. Such and such age, male or female, uh, like this. The color doesn't matter for the cow. So this kind of sale, you cannot do it for something that's irreplaceable. You cannot do it for something irreplaceable. Uh, the animals, I'll check about the animals. I'll review about the animals. When I say irreplaceable here, you can't do it for something that's made of parts or has multiple ingredients or that's cooked. And you can't do it for something rare also. So according to that, this Selim sale that I'm telling you about now, what we do online is not that. Unless you are buying something actually that's not made of parts. It's just one thing, like a barrel of rice. Then maybe you're doing a Selim sale or a Selef sale. But if it's made of parts, like a computer or a phone or like this, or a book even, or etc., pens, or if it's cooked, then it's not a Selim sale. And some scholars said if it's not a Selim sale, or let me put it this way, some scholars said buying described items is restricted to Selim sale, not more. According to that, then what we are doing online is not valid if it's made of parts. So some scholars, and what we learned is this is correct. They said it doesn't have to be, in order to buy a described item, doesn't have to be a Selim sale. Some scholars are saying in order to buy a described item has to be a Selim sale. If it's a Selim sale, then it can't be something made of parts. So that's a good benefit there. Wallahu a'lam. We'll stop there. Do you have a question? Is that clear? Alhamdulillah. You said, so there are scholars who say it's not restricted to Selim sales. Correct. There are scholars, and our sheikh is amongst them, who said that buying described items is not restricted to a Selim sale. Ameen wa fikum. That's good. Now I think so clear for you, all of this. Insha'Allah ta'ala. So if you wanted to take that saying, then you're not going to buy those things online that are made of parts and pieces. And also, when you order food from the restaurant, you're going to either stay in the session until your food comes to you, or you're just going to pay when the food comes. Don't pay ahead of time and leave. Don't pay ahead of time and leave. Why? Because it's not made yet, doesn't exist, and it cannot be precisely described. Like how many French fries in there? How many pickles there? How much salt? How much, like this? This cannot be precisely described. How many sesame seeds on the bread? So when you're buying food, cooked food, then don't pay for it ahead of time without staying in the session. Don't pay for it ahead of time without staying in the session. Then it's not even ahead of time. If you're still in the session, it's not ahead of time. As long as you're still in the same session, it's like you're exchanging at the same time. You gave him the money and you sat and waited for 15 or 20 minutes in the session. Then he gave you the food and you want to take the same and looked at it before you left. Then you exchanged at the same time. So that's not really paying ahead of time. So if you are buying cooked food, do not pay ahead of time. طيب بارك الله فيكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Yani, you're welcome. So what are you going to do if they want to, you want the cooked food and they want you to pay now, then you say something that makes it not invalid. Like you say, okay, I'm going to give this money to you as a donation, and when the food comes, I'm going to take it. Now it's not a sale. As long as he understands, though. You're welcome. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullahu khayra.